Hello everyone, I'm back after like a year or so of not making any content. Uh, Took a pretty long break, had a lung infection, and I was coughing a ton, so I didn't really want to record. But I do love casting and want to get back into it, so we'll see how it goes. So over on the right side, we've got David Kim, or who I think is puppypaw on the Biz, versus Beasty as dehli. Now this matchup should be one that favors the Byzantines a lot, in my opinion, just because you're just able to outpump the the dehli, basically. Like you've got more gather speed. You with the cisterns, like you produce faster. You got 40% production just base, whereas like the dehli needs to build stuff into the. They need to put the prelates into their production. And we are actually seeing the Dome of the Faith, which Beasty notoriously considers a very bad landmark. So I wonder, I've seen him do a build a couple times where uh, BC really hates going up against Biz. He's always saying it's super OP, which I do kind of agree with. Biz is just able to get so many units out with, you put the ground winery on the berries. It is going to be a horseman opening, so I'm expecting horseman longbow here. Um, this might just be a fast castle from BC though. He is making the second mill, and so I'm expecting pro scouts here. Yeah, looks like it's on 3 minutes, which is actually only like a minute longer than normally is. Pro scouts takes an insane amount of time, so even with only two scholars in here, he's able to get it through pretty fast. And it is going to be stable, so is just going to be matching the horsemen of the Biz player. And now, I do think that if you just go horse or mass Ghazi into horseman longbow, you will win with the Ghazi just because you're able to heal them up. One thing is you just need to make sure you are healing them up, and that's something I've noticed Beastie is really good at doing. Because even when they're going horseman longbow, which should be countered by pure horseman, what happens is uh, they have enough horsemen to like body block, and the longbows are doing a lot of damage. So, and then if you get behind on your Gazis, you're just not able to um, effectively deal with the longbows, and they just deal too much DPS. So you just have to be careful of that. And obviously you can't really go spearman as Beastie because there will be longbows. I say that he could go Kesha Company, but I kind of doubt it. He also has this handy dandy camp here, which has Desert Raiders and Mangadai. Which he could go Desert Raiders, but probably not. Like, Desert Raiders aren't really that great in a mixed army comp. They're more of like a unit, you mass, kinda. Just because of the way they work with the kiting. Probably is gonna get a scout pick here. This is pretty good. I expect Beastie, yep, he's going out onto the deer. And we could see if we've got a lot of sheep here compared to Beastie. The only thing is if you lose your mercenaries early, it is so hard to replace them, especially when your opponent's playing aggressive like this, because he can punish, he can deny these berries, and then if you add in farms, you're going to be so behind. And so, having these sheep here, it doesn't, compared to any other civ, it doesn't feel good. Like, if you're on HRE and you've got 16 sheep under TC, you're like, hell yeah, I can do so many things. But yeah, we see the heals coming out, and now Beastie is just on higher HP. One thing you can do is you can actually go Hippodrome in this matchup, and you just straight out win the Cav versus Cav. Okay, it is going to be a barracks opening, which I do like, because I feel like there is a timing for these Gazis to just kill everything if you stick on Horseman Longbow, even though you technically can. Just the Gazi overwhelm can be really nice. One thing that I do think you should always do as Biz is just wall yourself in. Just because when you do go this infantry longbow style, you are exposed, and it's not like you want to play defensive as Biz, you want to apply pressure, and so like if you don't fully wall yourself, you're giving your opponent a very big opportunity to deal some damage. So is capturing the sacred site here. Has made a lot of scholars, 9 scholars. That's a ton. So it's gonna be pure Ghazi versus Tricom from puppypaw. So Ghazi's looking to apply some pressure here. We've got 5 on gold, which means puppypaw is looking for a castle age. Um, which isn't necessarily the worst move. How's his house placement though? See these houses? Way too close to TC. You know, I'm probably like 500 elo off from puppypaw, but still. Oh, and he doesn't have the border settlements. Yeah, see? If he had a house like here, even if he just... Oh my... Okay, well, this game... Yeah, losing 5 vills like this is extremely bad. Another thing that a lot of people, I don't feel like they use enough, is textiles. Because if you switch this over to Dialecticus, it's 60% extra research rate with 2 of them. And you're only, so it comes down to 13 seconds for textiles, which is almost twice as fast as every other civ. Besides kind of dehli, but you need a bunch of scholars to make that work. But yeah, so, okay, Beasty is adding in Spearman now, and it looks like he is trying for a castle age. The issue is Beasty's army will just win if there's a straight out fight. So I think what puppypaw's army is gonna win. So Beasty's just trying to use this army to make sure puppypaw's army stays at home. There might have actually been another raid. Looks like there were no vill kills, but yeah, just I always like to prioritize getting my walls up as biz, because I feel like if you get those walls up, you're just gonna outproduce your opponent. Like if they don't get raids off on you, it's very hard for them to actually win. It does look like Beasty has taken a lot of deer home just with this, and it's gonna be compound. Beasty, I feel like House of Learning is actually a very good value comp, but I never see Beasty go for it. It's always compounded the defender from him. And right now, even though I would expect, yeah, it looks like resources are pretty even though Beasty got some kills. Although he is aging up with 17 right now, so I guess that's what's evening it out, even though he does have sacred sites, which are getting decapped. But from this position, Beasty's in a great spot because he's basically skipped feudal against Byzantines, which is Byzantines is a very timing oriented civ. They are getting their own Golden Horn Tower, which Golden Horn Tower makes sense. It gets a lot of value here. And so it's just got a huge timing from this first berry patch where it gets out 10 extra units, and you just have more units than any other civ in the game at that point. And so by raiding with these Ghazis, he is able to skip that point in the game. And now look at this army. It's a bunch of spears and a bunch of longbows. And right now we are seeing the man-at-arms come out. Which is exactly what counters all of this. The biggest weakness of Biz is just that you are restricted. Ooh, he changed it. He's going for Cistern. I do like this. Yeah, and we're gonna see the cataphract play. I love doing this as Byzantines. You just, when you build up this longbow mass, you just get a few cataphracts in there and they start stomping everything. Because the issue is, if you transition to castle with the other landmark here, you kind of have to go into man-at-arms, like a more Vargarian style comp, and they'll just have more man-at-arms than you. Although these man-at-arms from dehli, like usually dehli man-at-arms are very good because you either have Tower of Victory, House of Learning, or like both. And they're able to match Byzantine man-at-arms pretty well. But we have neither, so these man-at-arms don't actually really have any enhancements. So yeah, you're just able to go into these cataphracts that, you know, they don't have that charge, they don't have that like hit and run potential of Ignite, but in a straight up fight, they're just super good. And Uh, with all these longbows, you're able to pick off the units that might threaten them. Beasty actually pulling quite even in army, and this army will be very good against all these spears and longbows. The Ghazi count, he's stopped making them completely. I doubt. Yeah, he's not even getting the veterancy upgrades. These Ghazis are just gonna be a distraction force, basically. And is walling the sacred sites now. One thing I would expect Beasty to do is get a siege workshop down, and there it is. Just because Beasty loves his siege, everybody knows it. It's just how it is. And siege very, very strong against this army. Has he gone on stone though? Yeah, he's already doing his keep boom while doing some aggression, getting map control. And he is just gonna try to cap these sacred sites. The relic split is 4 in favor of the dehli, which is pretty good for the dehli. One thing though is if this game goes to Imperial, I feel like dehli can do reasonably well just because they usually have all the relics. But it's also a lot to do with having the Tower of Victory, and just increasing that attack speed means your units can trade well into Biz, but without it, you kind of have to, you're forced into Mass Elephant, which the issue with Mass Elephant is in the late game, the Biz can just go pure Limit-to-Nay, he can go Palatine School, and he can just spam endless Limit-to-Nay that have extra move speed, and then a bunch of Strelski behind it. It's kind of crazy. So, Beasty, I feel like this, now is his timing to get something done. Puppypaw did go for Cistern, which is more of a timing landmark. Like it can get some value late game if you like if you let it stack up, and then you just pop it in one big fight. But yeah, like the other landmark is basically just an extra military school that's constantly turned on once you get those 5 cisterns. Yeah, but if he can, he might try to win through mass siege. That might be his play, I'm thinking. Or it could just be a sacred site, but he's not really making keeps on the sacred site, which makes me think it might not be. Beastie is getting the stone walls up. It is very I feel like Puppypaw is just keeping all his cataphracts at home. He might be trying to deny the scouting, so Beastie doesn't make spearmen. Yeah, and like right now Beastie's going into, you know, mangonels and man-at-arms, so I don't think he knows about these cataphracts right now. And these could be pretty huge, especially if he doesn't know about Cistern. Because you don't expect Byzantines to go Cistern, because mostly they go tower. But yeah, it is gonna be kind of hard to do damage and just win the game with all these keeps here. If I was Puppypaw, I would be dropping a second TC right now. Although, this doesn't count mercenaries, so army value doesn't really matter right now. And just like, even though you don't have relics and you don't have your landmark, the tower, late game is still really good for you as Biz. And like, I feel like trying to push castle just isn't gonna work with all these keeps. One thing that I really like doing as Biz, like, I'm a very big Palatine school, I believe it's called, because it just gives you so much army. But it can be good to just completely stop making units, go Imperial, and just get a cannon out, and the cannon breaks all the siege. It kills. It's got so much armor that it will just, like, you know, kill the springlets, and you can just kill these keeps so fast. Yeah, because right now, like, Puppypaw cannot push into this. Like, even with the healing cataphracts, like, Beastie is a defensive masterclass. It is weird seeing a dehli player playing this defensive. Normally you do expect them to be the aggressors, to like put on that pressure, and then if the pressure fails, they kind of die. But Beastie just booming right now. Yeah, with the mangoes, like, you're not, like, even with the cataphracts charging into this, like, you're just not gonna break it. One other thing I like to do at this point is to stop making longbows. Like completely transition out of longbows, start making crossbows, and you just play Launch Connect crossbow. Because these, at this high numbers, the longbows start scaling really badly. And if you've got this big mass of longbows, it doesn't feel good to start making crossbows just because you can get double countered by a mangonel so easily. Which I do feel like is a mistake a lot of biz players make because if you just go Lance Connects, like Lance Connects, even if they go in and die, they get a huge amount of value. And longbows don't really get that much value at this stage of the game because your opponent's just gonna make a whole shit ton of armored units. This is looking like an Imperial Age from our Delhi player right now though, which is interesting. Me and my friends, we've been trying out the Deli Fast Imperial. There's like one player who's about 1800 elo and he just does this strat. He just does Deli Fast Imperial, 0 units every single game. And somehow it works. And so me and some of my friends who are Conk 3 have been trying it and it has not been working. So, obviously this isn't a Fast Imperial, but it just shows the power of the Elephant Landmark that you can get access to. Because like this push isn't gonna work. Um, I mean Beasty doesn't have that many units, but yeah, he can just Wololo on his siege and he can just get infinite value on these mangonels. Like you're never gonna break this because each Wololo, yeah. Oh no, he's committing. Yeah, that's just game right there. Like you just yeah, and he puppypaw does call it, but yeah, it is. I wouldn't recommend trying to break a deli with all their keeps and siege and relic setup with like rams. Like you gotta go into bombards basically. Like just go imperial. Like yeah. But I'll see you guys later. Have a nice day.